don't get along well around her. And that her battery's always dying. I think that might be something that is going on with me too. Because this iPhone thing doesn't want to stay charged. It's a thing. Challenges and struggles, right? My iPhone won't stay charged. So, there's a thing about drugs, right? Substances that we ingest and partake of. Commune with the substance. Overstance, Overwatch. Which one do you want to do? Substance. So if you just imagine Og has spoken about this briefly a few times. Augustine. He hasn't said it in these exact particular words, but he's said it in a sense that the self is sort of dual. If you think of it in terms of balance. So for instance, to have evil, right? To have badness. It has to be a trick. It has to be a sleight of hand. Because, generally speaking, the existence is balanced and not problematic. This, of course, seems ridiculous to say because you can look around and say, oh, all this shit, but it's balanced. And the reason it's a sleight of hand is that we're not looking at the whole balance. We're not looking at the whole thing all the time. We're aware of little. Your whole consciousness is like my used to be friend before Jesus stole his soul, or whoever, maybe it's Jehovah, I don't know. He used to say, we're like, what did he say? Spaghetti. Like those, you know, when you put the clay into the thing and it turns it into spaghetti? Like that's what we're doing. We're processing, we're pressing this information through the sieve, or the sieve of our particular makeup. And it makes something else, it makes some sort of spaghetti pattern. And Silky was also talking about this. The idea that to be negatively oriented and reside in that as an energetic makeup and try and maintain coherence and continuity is difficult. That's why this place is so special. It's because it's the most difficult thing. Balance is, it's a given. It's not something that you strive for or attain to or anything like that. It's the nature of existence is that it's always balanced 100% of the time, never not balanced. So to jump on the service to self bandwagon or game, or to maintain like rapist mentality for a long period of time is some sort of a feat, because the thing wants to come in and wash it all out and balance everything and all that. Because every time a motion happens, one way or the other, it's like you push your finger in the thing on one side, well, on the other side there's a, you know, something is coming out in the shape of a finger. That's the kind of way that it works. So to maintain a realm that looks to be entirely fucked from the top to the bottom, and not have that balance itself out for a long time, that's an achievement. But that's nearly impossible. And this also has to do with delayed gratification, maintaining tension. Maintaining the tension is a chess knowledge. It's a knowledge, guys. It's a knowledge. It's knowledge. You maintain the tension. You don't. The pieces, when you're moving them, they create energetic tension. And the more complex that the position on the board remains, the more chances the person who's maintaining the tension has to kind of dictate how, when the thing finally snaps out in one direction or another, it is conducive to their particular wants. And their particular wants are usually oriented to, I like to win. That's usually how the chess game works. So back to the good bad thing. If you're, it's almost like if you're being a dick, you're being a complete asshole to the rest of the people, and you're, say, hoarding all kinds of shit. You're hoarding up your material things. You're using the lowest form of coercion, which is force. You're on that thing. Okay, you're creating an equal and opposite reaction somewhere in the universe. So, like, if you create a literal hell where it's just screaming mental torture for a long, long time, well, by virtue of doing that, you're creating a perfect heaven on the other side. So if you're in the upside down, creating the most ridiculous, insane amount of torture possible, you're creating the heaven on the other side. And at the same time that you're doing that, you have to somehow be blinded from the knowledge that you're doing so. Otherwise, you're gonna be pissed off because you're, you know, the bad guys like being bad, and they don't want to have any knowledge that they're creating some sort of an equal and opposite situation somewhere else. So that's why memory wipes come in. That's why we have no memory. And not we have no memory. Some people have more memory than others, but I know for myself, I don't remember, and I don't want to remember. I don't remember exact particular lifetimes and past things that are going on and the events leading up to this particular arrangement of ions. How do you situate your ions? You know? Ion is in a lot of words. It's some sort of, has some sort of import. So, you can't do something, you can't make an action, you can't make a motion without creating some sort of counterpart. That's just what it is. So, and with drugs, again, back to this substance, the understance. When you're taking a drug, if you just remember that there's like some equal opposite counterpart universe happening, like mirror universe to yours, which is also yourself but on the other side. So like, say off in mushroomland, they're like, hey, like, what you doing today, buddy? Nothing. It's fucking boring here in mushroomland. Excuse me. I have some sort of a sore throat. And they're like, from that side, they're seeing a way to get high, and for them it's humans. So it's like, dude, I'm ready. It's been a long time. I'm gonna fucking human. I'm gonna human today. And then all of your friends, all of your mushroom friends are gonna be like, no, dude, don't do that shit. They're crazy. You're gonna go insane. No. I'm ready. I've done my prayers and so on and so forth. And I'm gonna human. And then at the same time, a mushroom is deciding to human. There's a human that's like, this place is bonkers. I need some enlightenment. I need something. So I'm gonna ingest mushrooms. And so, somehow the timing is such that at the exact same time that a mushroom decides to human, the human decides to mushroom. Right? And so they come together across this dividing line, across the veil, and they get up in each other's business for a while. And that's what it is. And it's what do you call it? There's a thing that doesn't want, there's a part to the life that doesn't want total knowledge of what's going on. It wants surprises and things like that. Unpredictability. And so when the mushroom is humaning and when the human is mushrooming, when they come together and they mate, there are glimpses and flashes of this thing which is, it's like the phenomena where the kid is scared of their own shadow. There's some sort of a viral video where this little girl is, she just, she's walking with her mom, and she happens to look at her shadow. She sees that thing that's mimicking, is copying everything that she's doing flawlessly, right? So it's almost like some sort of it's scary to her because it's not like the normal sort of deception way, which when you make movements and motions, right, your feedback from that is not flawless. Because when your feedback is flawless and you get on that thing, then eventually you're gonna go back to enlightenment and wholeness, right? And when you've been in this state, the so-called fallen state of humanness, you don't like that. You want to be making motions and have no clue what the fuck you're doing, and just splays all out in weird directions, and there's all kinds of trauma and fear and whatever else. So when the kid looks at her shadow and she sees it's just matching every single movement that she's making, then she freaks the fuck out, right? She's like, oh my god, internally, because she's trying to human, you know, she's trying to be the human thing, and where all of your reactions and movements splay out in weird ass directions and there's no continuity and there's no understanding. She's like, wait, why is this thing like flawlessly, perfectly matching me? And it becomes frightening at that point. And that's what happens. You come to that knowledge at some point when you're mushrooming and the mushroom is humaning. You come together at some point, and you know, like you catch a glimpse of eternity in that way, because you're bridging that unknowledge gap, which likes to say every single motion and movement is not fully balanced. It likes to say that. That's what the human experience is about. Because on the other levels, on the outside realm levels, everybody knows what it is. And of course, boredom comes in, maybe loneliness. You know, the whole God is lonely concept is a thing. That's something that also must be grappled with when you're mushrooming or drugging, whatever. Lots of concepts to wrestle with. But that's what it is. And humans have been playing this complex game of pretending that it's not balanced for a long time. And with aid from the so-called dark hand. And that's why people don't want to be woken up, because they don't want to hear that the evil cabal is something that is a necessary ingredient to the imbalanced perception human experience is necessary. People don't necessarily want to hear that, because, you know, then they're gonna be forced into like looking at the thing, and then nobody wants to look at the thing. Of course, looking at the thing is good, because, you know, you've been in this state, this fallen state forever and a half, for eons, and the existence wants to take care of you, but you're like, no, there's something else. Like, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. You know, the taxes, my mortgage. You know, this 85-year-old man's like on his deathbed, and he's sitting there wondering how many dollars are in his bank account. You know, like, that's flawless human, that's perfect human. And that's what it is for now. Peace.